Ready? Good luck, gamers.
All right, thanks.
Good luck, have fun!
Just us bickering like a married couple.
Alright, stream on Discord.
I don't have the thing up. Are we live?
We're live.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the Sonic Adventure era. I forgot my mic's actually on, or my webcam's on this time. Welcome back to the Sonic Adventure speedrunning marathon, Sonic Adventure era speedrunning marathon. You don't know me, my name's Stelmo98, and I'm playing this little game right over here. I think I'm here. Called Sonic Project 06. I've got a commentator with me. Reverie, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little about what Sonic P06 is?
Yeah, so Sonic P06 is a from-the-ground-up reimagining of Sonic 06 in the Unity 2019 engine, which completely and utterly revamps the game. It's pretty much not even recognizable. The changes are so vast.
Yeah, so what you're going to be seeing is, if you're familiar with the original game, is Shadow stages. I guess we should say currently the game is in its Shadow release, which contains all of Sonic's and all of Shadow's stages. If you didn't see us, Rev and I ran Sonic twice, two different ways. Rev doing an any % run on Friday, and then us racing Sonic No Major Glitches on Saturday, where we showed off all of Sonic's different crazy moves and how much they've changed since the original game. And today, I'm going to be showing off Shadow's campaign. All we have available to us are his 9 stages, no cutscenes or any of that, other than the ones that I'm totally going to enable right now because I meant to do it earlier.
I forgot to do it for the any % run.
Hey, that's okay, that's okay. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy. This is going to look a lot more like a Sonic Adventure, probably closer to Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 than it does to the to Retail 06, other than how the stages are designed. But with that, I think I'm ready. Rev, if you are, let's go ahead and get a countdown going.
Ready? All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right.
So the first thing you're going to immediately notice is, 1, the load times, and 2, that Shadow has a spin dash. The lead developer, Chaos X, decided to add it back in after he sorely missed it in the original, and it makes his stages a lot more fluid and a lot more clean. Another thing you'll notice, besides hedgehogs phasing through walls, is that the homing attack looks a little bit different than it did in the original game, and that's because there are actually 3 different presets of homing attacks that you can use. The one we are using currently is Legacy, which essentially acts as Hero's Jump Dash on 17 different performance-enhancing drugs. So another thing you'll notice here is not only can hedgehogs phase through walls, but bats can phase through walls as well. There's a small problem with the way that Rouge and Knuckles grab onto walls. The diagonal detection radius is actually a bit bigger than it needs to be. So in most circumstances, you can grab a wall out of bounds and just phase through it. Yep, here's a little cutscene here that was added into P06 using some unused dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Coming in, all of these animations are custom, camera angles are custom. Very good. You're going to be seeing a couple of these throughout the run. And there's going to be even more in the next release of the game. And coming up here, we have to destroy 5 different searchlights. Now, in the original game, you had to get into a buggy, which you also can do in Sonic Project 06. But you can also kind of use the homing attack to use these things kind of like a ladder. And just homing attack all the way up to the top and just destroy the bulb, which apparently when all the searchlights are destroyed, Eggman just decides to open his base wide open. I'm not entirely sure what the reason is there, but the reason I wanted to talk about this is because this is my one of 2 contributions to speedrunning for this game was the route for Shadow and the searchlights. Just had to throw that in there, but Rev, you can take us into Kingdom Valley.
So, at the start of Kingdom Valley, we're going to be seeing another one of Shadow's vehicles. The other one was the mythical buggy that we alluded to in White Acropolis. But here is the glider. This forces speedrunners to perform the Herculean task of counting to 3. If you hold A, you'll do a little bit of a boost, and if you tap A, you get a big boost, and you can do that every 3 seconds. So, you just double tap A every 3 seconds.
We're going to be seeing this glider a little bit later on 2 more times, so if chat could help me out in counting to 3 as good as possible. I know you guys are on a little bit of delay, but it would really help me out.
So here we're switching back to the bat, and we actually have an objective this time. We have to find 3 keys to unlock the door to progress in the level. Now, in the original game, these 3 keys were in set locations, but Chaos added a few extra key locations. Each key has 3 locations, leading to 27 different possible sets. So there's a bit of RNG involved, but it's nothing like the 1024 in essence.
Yes. With the retail set, them basically being where they were in the original game, being the second worst set, surprisingly enough. Not the worst that you can get, but not very good. But thankfully, we got a pretty good key set here. And now I'm going to attempt to turn Shadow into, I guess, Spider-Man here. Kind of shares the same color scheme and just climb up this wall. Rev, if you want to talk about what's going on here in this hover car.
So the hover car is the third of Shadow's vehicles, and it actually has invisible wheels, like beneath it. That's how it moves. So in certain scenarios, you can cling onto walls with those wheels, and it'll just kind of move up the wall. We're not entirely sure how that one works. But here is section 3 of Kingdom Valley. This is pretty simple. It just shows you like the base move set that you've got. A lot of clean movement, a lot of automation skips, and just high flying action.
Mm-hmm. And you'll definitely notice here, especially if you saw like Sonic's runs yesterday or the day before, is that it looks like Shadow kind of moves pretty similar to how Sonic does, especially with the spin dash now. So like what makes Shadow's run distinctive? And for me at least, it's that when we talk about the original game, Shadow had a lot more combat focus, and that's what the level designers, other than, you know, when they were blatantly just stealing level design from Sonic's story, we're trying to go for, is that there's a lot of these different combat rooms, and, you know, a lot of times where we have to defeat enemies to get into or to progress the stage and stuff. And what I think makes Shadow's run so fun is figuring out how to work against it and move as fast as possible. Just like going through, instead of having to destroy that enemy formation there, instead we can just jump right around, break the stained glass, and hit the goal ring just like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty common theme in Shadow's story. Either we have to skip combat due to P06's like total freedom of movement, or we do combat as quickly as we can, as we'll see in Flame Core and Aquatic Base.
Mm-hmm. Another little cutscene here, Sonic and Shadow. I guess seeing who's going to be the fastest. It's definitely Sonic, but, you know, he can try.
Yeah, so here we're in Crisis City. This is another section where the buggy used to be here, but everyone just spin dash down because it's, you know, fun. So the buggy was again removed from this location. I think there's literally 2 buggy locations in the entirety of Shadow's story now.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the only vehicle that was removed completely, but we'll be seeing a little bit more of that one later. And by a little bit, I mean a very little bit. Moving on here.
Also forgot to mention, Crisis City is Shadow's longest stage, having 4 total sections and an average runtime of over 3 minutes.
I believe it's his only stage with over 4 sections, right? Or with 4 sections.
Yeah. So there, we're doing some rail grinding, but Retail 06 and by extension P06, honestly, don't have that many kill planes or invisible walls. So in most instances, if we don't want to do something, we can just kind of take things into our own hands.
For right now.
Currently, yeah, that may change in the future.
To our advantage and disadvantage, the creator of this game and lead developer of the project, P06, is very involved when it comes to knowing like speedrunning tech, and we do our best, even maybe to our dismay, report as many bugs as possible to him and kind of fix up the experience, because I mean, I can definitely understand the sentiment that he wants this game to be as polished as possible. And I agree, but who knows? We'll always try to find a way to go fast.
He is unfortunately aware of our shenanigans.
Yeah. All right. So, coming up here, we've got one of the hardest sections in the game. Chat, I'm going to need you to help me count to 3, and Rev, if you could help me as well.
All
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Gets a lot. 2, 3. It got so intense at the end.
Yeah, baby!
As you can see, very difficult section there. All I had to do was press the A button. So, yeah.
So now we're in section 4, which showcases more of the base movement, showing off some badnik bounces, a mechanic that was reintroduced into P06 after it was missing in the original game. Now, here there's a very, very long rail grinding section, and these cars can actually hit you. They do have light homing properties, and it is possible to get hit in the section, in the earlier section, and in the section he's currently in. So you can just get double bopped and just lose your run instantly. It's very fun.
Yeah, super duper fun. But section 4 here, or I guess, what is this, section F in the code, is exclusive to Shadow and Silver. So even though Crisis City first 3 sections, pretty similar to how Sonic went through them, thankfully we get a little bit of variation here as we end Crisis City.
Very, very clean. 315.
Next up, I mean, we might as well just copy and paste our commentary from Sonic's Any Percent, at least for Section 1 here in Flame Core. Flame Core is the stage that is the most similar between Sonic and Shadow, and by most, I mean basically identical, other than I believe this platform that was added right here at the beginning, and then in Section 2, the orb placement that we are going to do with Rouge instead of Knuckles is different. Other than that, the stage is pretty much entirely the same. And I guess the enemy formations as well.
Yeah, the enemy formations are the most important part because we're going to be... this is the first showcase of Shadow's unique ability called Chaos Boost. Each level of Chaos Boost gives you a different power-up, and defeating enemies allows you to level up into, eventually, level 4 Chaos Boost. This is the 100% reward for Shadow's story. It allows you to take off his inhibitor rings and transform into uninhibited mode. This essentially acts like a super form. You one-shot everything, you can't take damage, but instead of draining rings, it drains the action gauge of the bottom right. And if you run out, you're forced to incur a, like, 9-second penalty where you just can't do anything. So we don't use it very often because of that penalty, so we only use it when we have to.
Yep.
It speeds up this stage dramatically.
And if you're wondering, with such a large penalty, why would we even bother going in the first place? Because Shadow, oh dang it, missed the jump there. Shadow can defeat enemies pretty quickly, especially with his Chaos Spear and stuff. Well, the thing is that there are actually certain actions you can take to completely mitigate the cooldown, which happened right there. Whoop, almost died in the lava there. Thankfully, it didn't happen.
If you are in automation, while you are going to incur the penalty, you actually, like, it completely bypasses it, because there isn't really a state where Shadow can he can't transition states in automation easily, so you just kind of get away scot-free. Another way to do it is to just restart the section as soon as you get into it.
I think mostly a fair mechanic, because imagine going on that thing, the dash panel, the jump panel. Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a memory relapse whenever I see one of those things. But yeah, and just falling down. Go ahead.
Now Rouge the Bat is showing us one of her many talents. She can phase through walls, she can collect keys, and she can create light. Very cool.
Very versatile character.
So now we are just moving through this section. This section was not really added, but in the original game, after you light the orbs, you just kind of swap to a Shadow on the other side of the door, but Chaos was like, hey, wait a minute, you have to move through this section. So he added that little bit there. And now we are done with Flame Core and are headed into Radical Train. Probably the hardest of Shadow's stages, and you will be seeing why very shortly. It's a very short stage. The gimmick of it is we have to go around, hit switches to put up a laser gate to beat up Eggman's train, and then we move it to the next checkpoint. But that's slow and boring, so we're just kind of jump around. If we don't hit the switch, the game pretty much just auto-kills us after 50 seconds. But what that means is we have 50 seconds to completely ignore our objective and just gun it to Section 2. which we are going to do, hopefully. The scary thing about this stage is if you die at all, which it's very easy to, you don't pick up any checkpoints throughout this section, so you just die and lose 30 seconds. But it looks like we are clean into Section 2. So in Section 2, you're supposed to hop on a motorbike and gun down Eggman's train, but there's this decorative train at the right, and if we don't move forward enough, it actually never despawns, and we can actually shoot Chaos Spears at it through this invisible wall and just kill it and end the mission. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I guess
Very, very
Eggman
stacked
must have
stage.
forgotten his keys or something in that one.
And now we are on to Aquatic Base, right?
Yep, Aquatic Base is next. One of my personal favorite stages in Shadow's story to showcase, because we are going to be using all 4 of Shadow's Chaos abilities individually, I guess, instead of just gunning for level 4. So I guess, Rev, you want to take the helm on explaining what each level does?
So at level 1, which he popped now, you get to you unlock Chaos Snap, which is essentially just an extension to your normal homing attack. Level 2 unlocks Chaos Lance, an upgraded Chaos Spear that allows you to one-shot enemies. And then Chaos 3 unlocks, Chaos Boost level 3 unlocks Chaos Blast, which we'll be seeing a bit later. Pop level 4 there to quickly kill all of the worms. And since we swapped to Silver, we don't actually incur the penalty, and we'll be swapping back to normal Shadow in a second. You missed one.
Yeah, I know.
Little bugger. It is very, very hard to kill all of those worms, or all of those biters in one sweep.
Mm-hmm. And if you didn't catch Sonic's story, basically Silver is just an enhanced version of himself right now. We only get to play as him in 2 little gameplay chunks because his stages aren't out yet. But as you can see, his teleport dash has been significantly enhanced. And here we go, showing off Chaos Blast. Yep. The only time in the game where it's intentional.
So the reason why we Chaos Blast there instead of going into level 4 is that we actually need to maintain level 3 for basically this entire section. So we're going to be transforming into level 4 near the end, but if we transform into level 4 in that worm room, we actually cannot maintain it until the end of the section. So we have to build back up to level 4, which is obviously very slow. So we just Chaos Blast and hold level 3 until the end here.
Ooh, got a bit of a bad nick bounce there.
We're gonna hit these 2 switches, which instantly kills the enemies, and pop level 4. This combat room is very, very clean, so I'm gonna shut up.
Beautiful. Really glad to get that.
Clean. Super, super clean aquatic base.
Mm-hmm. Hey, very nice. All right, chat. You know what time it is. Really gonna need help. And I see Joey Baby raiding with a party of 121. Thank you so much, man.
All of you can help us count to 3 in this very, very difficult section.
Yes, everyone who's here, count to 3 with us. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, you failed.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. 1, 2, 3. 1,
This bit
2,
sucks.
3. 1, 2. Oh!
Oh, too slow. Get
Got bopped by. Oh, both of them. Can we survive? 1,
Dude, if you
2,
die in this section, your
3.
career's over.
My career's over?
No, your career!
Oh,
I
okay.
did not say career.
Kariru is another Project 06 speedrunner.
I hate that guy.
In name only.
Yeah, in name only, yeah, pretty much.
Just teasing. But moving on here, Rev, you want to take over Omega?
So now we have the 3rd gameplay style in Shadow's Story. Well, I mean, 4th, I guess, if you count the glider. We have Omega, who was very, very infamously very broken character in retail. He had the fastest running speed, which I believe has not been changed. I think everyone else has just been sped up. And his hover was extremely broken, but hover was nerfed in 2 very, very distinct ways. One, the momentum preservation and height decay have been like severely nerfed. Like you slow down to a crawl, and a meter was added to stop you from hovering for too long. So Omega, very, very unfortunate character, but You just kind of hold forward, kill things when you have to. We'll be seeing more of him in Dusty Desert.
Get to see a little bit of Mephiles there in the cutscene. Not really sure what he's doing in Wave Ocean. I guess maybe getting a suntan or something. But I guess, you know, I'm not the devil, so I can't really understand what's going on there. But
so now we've swapped back to Shadow, and we're on the other complete opposite side of Wave Ocean. This is a section exclusive to Shadow, and we had to hit a switch there to open a gate. And we're going to be moving through the section until we get to about where Omega was.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to have sections that are exclusive to characters other than Sonic. Pretty cool that we get to see what's on that island on the other side.
Here's a very, very tight jump. We're going to refresh our homing attack, our air actions, off of that destructible pillar there and move straight to the hovercar section.
Mm-hmm. Nice little thing there is like kind of one of the only times you really see a lot of it is called a double homing attack. If you do a jump dash, then press A and X at the same time while in the air, you can do another jump dash. And let's see, sometimes our friend the hovercar likes to show up during the results screen.
Actually, I don't think I've even mentioned high jump. There's an input bug. There's a set of input bugs with this game. If you press A and X at the same time, as most characters, we saw a little cameo there. If you press A and X at the same time, you essentially trick the game into thinking you're jumping twice. So you're able to get a jump with like 2 or 3 times the height. And that also applies to the double homing attack. Usually you have to do the air action, but you can kind of animation cancel it if you press A and X. Here is what's supposed to be a very, very long hovercar ride. You have to kind of like ride it through checkpoints, but Chaos just kind of left the last trigger open. We don't know if that's intentional or not, but hey, we take those.
And we are finally done with Shadow's vehicles. So from here on out, it's going to be only Shadow gameplay. We're only going to play as Shadow.
Only Shadow.
Only
There's
Shadow.
No other character.
Zero, zip, nada. Dusty Desert is his oh. Well, looks like we're stuck with Omega again.
End of the party, guy. Go home, everyone. So, in this stage, we get to see a bit more of Omega's combat functions. And the new Gatling gun mode that you saw in the previous room is added by Chaos X, previously only featured in cutscene. And here we're going to use it to snipe a switch on the other side of that wall. That switch raises some platforms that we'd normally have to backtrack in order to hit the switch later in the level. Here's a big combat room. We're going to use this physical attack to kill some, and then we're going to use his big lock-on blast to kill the rest. It's a big theme with Omega and Dusty. You kind of have to kill things.
Mm-hmm. Really
Here
emphasizing that.
Jump.
Yeah.
You're using the high jump to hit a switch.
Really emphasizing that combat nature of this guy, except we're just going to do a little Mario hop over this guy.
Yeah. You can tell when Omega high jumps when he does his like little physical blast as he moves in the air. Like there.
And let's not get guillotined. Whew.
Oh, almost got guillotined. That guillotine is usually pretty easy to avoid, but as is the case with everything in speedrunning, if it's easy, it will find a way to kill you.
And here is the biggest showcase of the Gatling gun mode, mowing down all those enemies, taking us right over. And since we hit the switch, these platforms and door are already open. We don't have to go to the right side at all.
And there we go. We are now done with Omega. We will not see any other gameplay styles for the rest of the run.
Yep, only Shadow from here on out.
Only Shadow.
Just one more little hallway here. And then into the most annoying room in the game, at least for me.
So we didn't know how this combat room worked for a while. Usually we would go slow spin dash one of the purple worms and then attack the red worm. And then the other purple worm would put up a guard and we would have to like awkwardly kind of wait for it. But we found out that if you attack both purple worms first, then you don't have to wait for either of them to put up their guard. So, last little hallway, and then we are done with Dusty Desert, and we will never see any character other than Shadow ever again.
Yep, only Shadow from here on out. Yep.
Oh, it's just him.
Definitely. Just him.
It's just him.
Just him. Oh,
the bat's back.
Who could have known?
we just can't get rid of her. So you might have remembered in White Acropolis I said that bats can phase through walls, and this is the case here. This is normally a treasure hunting stage, but there's we're not gonna do that.
And this is actually a trick you can try at home, and is very, very easy to pull off. So head to Chaos X's YouTube channel, download Project 06, load up Tropical Jungle here, and you too could be a Project 06 speedrunner. Just gonna hug this wall and move our control stick a little bit more to the right, and
that is it.
yeah, heading on, saying hi to Omega, give him a little smooch, and boom.
That is time. GG.
22:05.
Yeah, low 22. That's RTA, right?
I actually don't know. I wasn't
Well,
looking at my live split.
In general, is a pretty damn nice time.
Very, very good.
So that was Shadow's story. A bit of a more nuanced run than Sonic. He kind of does a lot more things. Sonic is just kind of move fast, but Shadow, you have to think a little bit more. But
yeah,
if you are like at all interested in running this game, please check it out. I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of the best 3D Sonic experiences out there, and we are always excited to see new runners. For sure. That concludes Sonic Project 06 for the SAESR Marathon. It was super awesome. Rev, I hope you had a good time. Definitely had a good time. With the runs that you did, and it was great finally showcasing Shadow. This is my first solo run in a marathon, and I hope you all enjoyed. Download Project 06, join the 06 speedrunning server, run this game because it is so freaking good. But yeah, that's all from us. That's all from us. Bye-bye. Get me out of here. Quick, we have to leave. We gotta go.